Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, August the 10th, race number 10 at Saratoga. We conclude the card with a maiden special weight on the turf, going 1 mile and 3/16.
Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets.
Let's take a peek at this field. Please scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile devices. As you see on our colleague David Aragona's morning line, it's a pretty wide open race. Chad Brown has the morning line favorite, the number 8 most wanted man. This is the son of Frankel, who's stretching out past 1 1/16 for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, not an easy race, I don't think, to necessarily land on a favorite, Dan. I think that's how David sort of played it. It's kind of a wide open race. Everybody in here still has an awful lot to prove, and we'll see, how this favorite does in this race. Who's, to me, he's been just okay in his 2 turf starts for Top Connections.
Chad also has the number 7 Running B, the co-second choice on the morning line, along with the 9 Cloud Forest trying turf for the first time. We'll take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. I can't find the pace setter. I guess the 4 Evan Harlan can make the lead, adding blinkers and stretching out past 1 1/16 for the first time, but he's no blazer. Maybe Vintage Year, the 1 will try to grab the front. He showed the way going 1 3/8 last time. That's actually turning back in distance, but I have a feeling there's not a lot of pace on, and they're going to be in no hurry.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a slow pace in this race. Listen, I'm with you. I don't know who's going to be up front. Maybe it'll be the 4. Just because he's a new face and he's been going shorter than this. But as you've already pointed out, he doesn't have a lot of speed. Vintage Year did go to the lead last time. It didn't really work out for him. We'll see if they try it again, going a little shorter.
Let's talk a little bit about the number 1 Vintage Year, a horse cutting back off 2 11-furlong races. He did make the front last time out, 49-4, 116-3 for the half. Got tired at the end of that race, finishing behind of a couple of these horses. And later on, we'll watch the replay of that race, and you'll see a couple of horses in behind him had some traffic issues, and Vintage Year was just out there on his own on the lead. Maybe the shorter distance will work to his advantage, but I think he has to improve.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt last time in that race here at Saratoga going longer, just because I felt like his race 2 back at Churchill, he didn't get a great trip in there. And even though he was beaten 10 lengths, I didn't think it was a terrible performance. So I wasn't, way against him last time. But I don't know what his excuse would be there, Dan. The pace wasn't that fast. He wasn't really taking that much pressure on the lead. And when they came for him in the stretch, he was just really no match.
One of the horses that finished ahead of him is the 2, Tis a Giant, who hit the board in all 3 starts this form cycle for a very sharp trainer in Michael Trombetta. Let's watch that maiden special weight right now, going 1 3/8 earlier in the meet. And on the lead is Vintage Year. You see in behind in the red cap is Tis a Giant. To his inside is Remote. And those 2 are kind of going to have to bang off each other a little bit, trying to get off the rail in the stretch.
Yeah, they both were in behind. I felt like Tis a Giant, obviously got clear a little bit sooner than Remote did. And I thought Tis a Giant ran pretty well in here. He was stretching way out for the first time. It's only the 2nd turf start for him. I thought his race at Parks prior to that on turf was an underrated performance in a race where he really had no chance to win. I don't know. This horse is 10-1 on the line again, Dan. I think that's a very fair price.
And it just seems like he's improving with each and every start. And he does have the tactical speed where John Velasquez can play the break. He's going to be close. Maybe he'll even try to get to the front. We just saw Remote run a good 3rd in that race. This is a horse going out for the always dangerous Christophe Clement barn. And it looks like he's hitting his stride in his last 2 races.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. He has the race 3 back where he just lost his rider. I thought his effort 2 starts back was fine. He didn't really have a huge excuse there, but I thought he ran overall a pretty decent race in that spot. The horse that beat him, a Chad Brown horse who just had a perfect trip and ran him over in the stretch. We saw part of the replay of his last race, Dan. It's not Rosario's fault. He was just saving ground with this horse off the pace, but it took them forever to get clear in there. And by the time he did, he really had no chance to win.
Talking a little bit more about the number 3 Remote. I'm curious about where you think he'll be in the early portion of this race. We're not expecting a lot of speed. He did stay relatively close in that longer distance race 2 starts back. We know the Clement barn, they like to get these horses covered up in behind and get them to produce one strong run.
Yeah, I'm expecting him to be covered up again. I don't think that he has to be as far away as he was last time necessarily, where Rosario really took a hold of him early and put him behind horses. But as you've already pointed out, the race two back, he was, sitting right up close in that race for most of the trip. And I think he can get another trip like that in this race.
Timeform US believes that the pace setter will be the number 4, Evan Harlan, stretching out slightly off a mile in a 16th race at Colonial last time out. And this horse has hit the board in all 4 starts. I thought he ran okay sprinting 3 starts back, considering it was his first start off of a lengthy layoff. I don't know about you, Mike. I've been very disappointed with his last 2 races. I think he's supposed to win at odds on at Pimlico 2 starts back. And last time out of Colonial, I know the pace was slow, but he has the lead in mid-stretch. It looks like he's going on to win, and he blows it at odds on again.
Yeah, I mean, I can't make excuses for this horse. You're talking about a horse now who's lost 3 straight races as an odds-on favorite. I mean, how many more chances do you really want to give him? And, do you really think that more distance is going to make, some kind of big difference with this horse? I don't think it is, but maybe it will. I don't know. He's shipping in here. He's probably going to be a better price this time. So I suppose you could give him one more chance, but I don't want to.
I'm expecting the number 5 Clubbing to run a lot better in this race if he gets pace. I think that's really the key for this horse. He was washed off in his debut. It was over a muddy track, and as a Shug McGahee first-time starter, we expect them to improve second time out. And I don't think he had an opportunity last time. I know that race on turf was won by a big long shot, but it was won by a big long shot that just was able to get to the lead, go 25-50 in the half, and sprint it on home. I don't think we've really had a chance to see what Clubbing can do.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I think if you just look at the turf start last time on paper, you see, they switched him over. He only improved a little bit. He finished last in the race. And so you just wonder how good this horse is. But I'm with you. I don't think he really had a fair chance this time. I don't think he ran a poor race at all. I mean, he really doesn't have that much speed, though. So we'll see if he can pull the right kind of trip in this race. I think there's a chance he takes a pretty big step forward here.
The number 6 Flute Master goes out for trainer Steve Asmussen, switching from dirt to turf, and he's already somewhat famous. On July 11th and July 18th, he kept company with Epicenter as that horse prepared for the Jim Dandy. Flute Master raced once on dirt. He caught a pretty good field that day. Even though he has a little bit of turf on the bottom, are you surprised that Asmussen is already going to the turf? I mean, Gunrunner is 0 for 26 with first-time turf runners. And even though the dam's a half to Falimbi, this is the family of Flute, who won the Alabama and the Kentucky Oaks.
Yeah, it's not, you're right. It's not a ton of turf here. There's some turf pedigree down there, but there's not a ton. And, so far, based on what I've seen, I don't really care for the gun runners as turf horses. So, yeah, I think it's a little surprising they're making the switch this soon. And I didn't really, see any reason to think that this horse is going to take some kind of huge step forward in this race. Maybe he will. Stretching out is supposed to help him. But I really didn't want to bet this horse.
Maybe Tyler will send him. He's stretching out in distance. Yeah. He's facing a couple of horses in this race that don't have a lot of speed. He does have upside. Maybe that will try to get him over the hump. But I'm with you. He does have some turf pedigree. I'm a little surprised, though, that they're already running him on the turf. Running B is the 7. 2 starts, 2 runner-up finishes for Chad Brown. Let's watch the son of English Channel first off the long layoff last time out at Belmont, and he's in behind horses right now. He kind of dropped down inside, turning into the stretch. Didn't look like he had a ton of run. Once he got to the outside late, he begins to pick up the pace, and he does get up for second. He earns an 81 buyer. I think the extra distance won't be a problem being by English Channel, and he should improve off of this race.
Yeah, he should. We'll see what he does here. I could go either way on this horse. I kind of just, at this point, just want to wait and see what kind of price he is, Dan. His debut last year was fine. I mean, he got beat a million lengths in that race, but he actually did a little bit of running at the end there in a race where the winner, there are no words. I think he opened up 7 at the start, and he just sort of never let anybody into the race. I actually liked this horse last time, and I bet him at Belmont. And I don't know. I know the winner was okay. I thought this horse just ran all right again. Can he improve? Yes. Is this a race he can win? Yes. If he's going to be, some kind of, shorter price in this race, I probably don't want to bet him, but I'll use him.
His uncoupled stablemate is the 8th most wanted man, the son of Frankel, going off second off of a shorter layoff than running B. Let's watch his last race going a mile. He's going to be stretching out here. He is a very diminutive gelding. He's not the biggest dog in the fight, that's for sure. He fell behind a fast pace early. He made a wide move on the turn, and he's going to sort of clunk up to finish third. It was an improved performance off an okay debut at Tampa Bay Downs. I have some questions about the distance, even though he's certainly bred for it.
Yeah, I have questions about the distance, and I just have questions about talent with this horse, Dan. He's run twice now. He's finished third both times. He never looked like he was going to win either one of those races, and he didn't really finish hard in either one of those races early. He's 7-2 on the morning line. I have no use for this horse at that price.
Now, the 9 Cloud Forest, like Flute Master, trying turf for the first time. I have a different opinion of him than Flute Master. This horse has a big turf pedigree, but he ran so well first time out for Mott that I can certainly understand giving him a chance second time out with Lasix on the main track. That didn't work out. I have a feeling Mott always wanted turf for this horse. The dam won a couple of times on the turf and is a half to Courageous Cat and aftermarket. Grade 1 winners on the lawn.
Yeah, I agree with your take on him. I mean, this surface, which doesn't surprise me at all. And you're right, he did run well first time out. He faced a good field last time. He just didn't really do anything. And so now it's just really easy for these connections to make the surface switch. The distance isn't supposed to be a problem. The surface isn't supposed to be a problem. This horse could be really, really tough in here.
Flavian Pratt gets the mount, the second dam multiple grade 1 turf winner, Tranquility Lake. Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video offerings. Top Pick time and a wide open finale at the Spa on Wednesday. Mike, you're going with Remote. I just think he's going the right way right now.
I think he is too. And I just, more than anything, Dan, I just didn't really care for the trip that he got last time. I actually feel like he ran okay. So I'm going to give him one more chance. I really don't mind them going a little bit shorter with this horse either.
Of the 2 Chad-trained horses, I think Running B is going to appreciate this extra distance a little bit more. I can make the argument that even though Chad is great off layoffs, maybe this horse just needed one last time out in his first race off such a lengthy layoff. I think he'll fire in the stretch, but again, I agree with Mike. I wouldn't go much less than the morning line odds of 4-1. It's such a wide open race. 3-2-5-7 for Mike, 7-4-8-5 for me. It's our Wednesday DRF race of the day. Good luck.